Chapter 6. Minutemen versus Red Sox. Redcoats. If Flea were a boy, everything would be different. First, she wouldn't have ignored me all morning. Second, things would have improved between us on account of boys have more respect for one another after a good pounding. But Flea is not a boy. She is a girl. Girls are weird, even if they wear a cool eye patch, drag a cool peg leg, and know how to throw a mean uppercut. I was thinking about all this when Alvin, a voice called, "Alvin!" My heart stopped. It was Miss P. She's very nice, but she has a habit of calling on you when you least expect it. Everyone was looking at me over the tops of their books and holding their breath. The hand on the clock clicked, tick, tick, tick. Someone's toe tapped, tock, tock, tock. My heart thumped, boom, boom, boom. I couldn't breathe in. I couldn't breathe out. "Alvin," said Miss B, "would you like to skip your turn?" It was a reading class. We were reading something about Henry David Thoreau's furniture. He had only 3 chairs, 1 for being by himself, 2 for a friend, and 3 for a party. Normally I like reading. Like my dad, I'm a great reader for my age. I can make my voice go up and down, at pause and all the commas and periods, just like my dad, to make everything super duper exciting. But in school, I opened my mouth. The words on the page were supposed to roll right off my tongue, but nothing did. I was not skipping my turn, but it always looks like I am. If there's anything good about reading class, it is this. History class comes next. History class is not like reading class. History is all about the American Revolutionary War, which happened back when everyone was having fights and firing cannons left and right and enjoying all sorts of explosions without getting busted. If you live in Concord, Massachusetts, which is hard to spell, it's hard not to like history. My gung says it has something to do with feng shui, which is the Chinese way of saying some places are more exciting than others. The only problem with Concord is that there are no volcanoes. If there's a volcano with explosions now and then, it would be the most exciting place in the world. The best thing about history, as everyone knows, is that you can play it at recess. Our favorite game is Patriots' Day, which is based on the most exciting day of the year, April 19, which is the day when the American Revolutionary War began back in 1775. Every year on that day, the church bells ring like crazy, just like they ran long ago, to call the Minutemen out from their homes to fight the Redcoats. And the Minutemen were the good guys. They were ready to march or fight at a minute's notice. And the Redcoats were the bad guys, sent by the King of England to capture the gunpowder and explosives that the Minutemen had hidden all over Concord. This is how to play Patriots' Day. First, the Redcoats march in across the playground from their hiding place behind the cafeteria. Then, the Minutemen slither across the grassy field like angry snakes from their hiding places behind trees. They meet at the Old North Bridge, which is really the monkey bars, where the Redcoats won't let the Minutemen swing across. The Minutemen begin to swing anyway because the monkey bars belong to them. And the British say, "No way, they just captured the monkey bars." So they shoot the Minutemen, who then drop dead on the wood chips. Then the British Redcoats want to pretend to be dead too, but the Minutemen won't let them. The Redcoats pretend to be dead anyway, but the Minutemen won't stand for it, so they duke it out, just like they did back in historic times. It is mayhem and chaos. It is the beginning of the American Revolution. But before you can have a revolution, you have to choose sides. "You guys, on this side, the Minutemen," said Pinky, who usually does all the choosing. "You guys, on that side, are the Redcoats." He pointed to everyone but me. I wanted to play too, so I said so, with my eyes. That I wanted to be a Minuteman or a Redcoat didn't matter to me. War was war. "Hey, how about Alvin?" asked Sam. He doesn't like leaving anyone out. I stood up as tall as I could. "Alvin who?" asked Pinky. He looked around. He looked up. He looked down. And then he looked right through me. "Who's Alvin?" Pinky is no Pinky. He has been the biggest boy in my class since kindergarten because he started school late. And he's also the leader of the gang, which means if he doesn't play with me, the other boys won't either. I wish with all my might that Pinky would let me play, but he never does. Then I wish with all my might that I could just scream, but I couldn't. I could only stamp my foot, which didn't help. I was buzzing mad like my dad's electric razor, but I couldn't buzz. "The British are coming! The British are coming!" Pinky yelled to start the game. He was pretending to be Samuel Prescott. the local hero who warned Concord that the enemy was approaching. It's not fair that Pinky is always Samuel Prescott, but he is the biggest boy, and the biggest boy can be whoever he wants. "God save the king!" yelled Jules. Jules was the leader of the Redcoats. "God save the Minutemen!" screamed Sam. "George!" everyone yelled. The gang headed for the monkey bars, where the Minutemen pounded the Redcoats, and the Redcoats thumped the Minutemen until the playground monitor came and called a timeout. It was fantastic. Even though I wasn't a Minuteman or a Redcoat, I played dead at the end anyway, because there's no law stopping anyone from lying on the softwood chips and closing their eyes. You can't live in Concord without loving history, but I sure wished I loved recess too.